Welcome back to the class, everyone. Today we are going to be unpacking the road ahead. A lot of the things that are coming out, and there is a lot of stuff coming out, is not actually going to be hitting the game today, but it's going to be hitting the game over the process of actually the next couple months all the way up until the end of the year. And we have quite a few hot takes. We're not going to exactly address the video. I think the video is really cool. There's a lot of interesting interviews. If you want to go deeper into the road ahead with the actual developers, do check it out. But it is 15 minutes long, so, you know, I'll leave that to you guys. First up on the board is Galactic Legend Jabba Hutt. They have released the 5 remaining requirements: Mob Enforcer Relic 3, Boba Fett 7, Fennec Shan 7, or Sing Relic 6, and Bounce Relic 5. A lot of people have already looked at this and are kind of seen Jabba as quote-unquote free. My hot take is he's actually just as expensive, or he's actually just as monetized as the majority of other Galactic Legends. Maybe sans Lord Vader, he was really expensive. The way that they're getting the money, however, is different. Bausch is very likely not even going to be in shipments when this first hits, or rather when Jabba is first released. So if you want Jabba right out the gate, and a lot of people are, probably not, I'm not going to have them, but not the majority of the game, but you're going to have to shell out $300 to be able to get there, or you're going to have to constantly crystal refresh, or you're going to have to buy in shipments. Either way, this is actually unprecedented. This has never happened with a Galactic Legend before. So while a lot of these requirements are really good, Boba Fett, Relic 7, everybody already has Executor that has that. Fennec Shan is an amazing Relic 7. We actually just made a video about the most efficient Relic 7s in game, and she makes the list. Mob Enforcer, kind of bad, also got a rework, so okay-ish. So these really are good. My hot take is there isn't going to be a surprise mechanic that is going to come with Jabba that's going to make him cost a lot more, because the cost is already there. We just can't really see it because it's different. That being said, Jabba, they did go a little bit into his kit. We know that he is going to be having a Rancor somewhere, probably in his ultimate ability. That's pretty cool. Also, why not CG? I mean, you've already done the work of paying the money to make the graphic of the Rancor. You might as well use them as well. Up next, we are talking about Territory Battles, Rise of the Empire. Hot take on this: really freaking good idea, CG. Just absolutely fantastic. Number one, the one area of the game that we are missing renewable content is Guild PvE. We have not had that. They had to make other content that was ridiculously hard, Light Side Territories Battles, looking at you, so that it would last 3 years. They finally gone in with what they done with JC, what they done with Conquest, and they're trying to make content that they can keep adjusting over time, so it doesn't need to be stupid hard. It'll be a little stupid hard, but right out the gate. And the time period they're going for is actually really stinking cool, between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And this is going to take advantage, and this is why I think it's smart on CG part, it's going to take advantage of pretty much all the new content that is coming out as far as Star Wars go. We have Bad Batch Season 2 coming up. We just had Season 1. We also had Kenobi. We also have the Cal Kestis game, Jedi Fallen Order. There's a ton of content that covers this area that is not only already come out, but is going to keep coming out. Cassian Andor is the next thing. It's all around that time period. Brilliant idea on their part. I'm really excited to see this advancement. I do know we are several months out, but it's nice to see that it's there. And also, they're kind of moving away from purely LSTB or DSTB. You kind of get to choose within that. That is also a very cool aspect. There's even a mixed mode, and this was really important because CG has been developing a ton of mixed alignment teams over time, Jabba being kind of the ultimate culmination of that. So they needed to figure out a way to work that in, because the TBs as we have them, it really kind of sucks to not be able to use teams like Starkiller or Maul Mandalorians to their full extent. And we also have a mod calibration and quality of life. I am skeptical on this. I'm really hesitant to want to like this. It seems almost just a little bit unnecessary. I guess my hot take here is this is better than 7 dot mods. The big issue with 7 dot mods is that they increase ship speed, and there's a lot of really specific dumb ships that depend on being one speed faster. That is Executor, that is Negotiator. Crew and Fives also fit somewhere in there, and when they go ahead and advance those, you end up building speed, and you end up with really stupid things like 7E mods on your Biston. Probably relevant now for Profanity, but still things of that sort that you really don't want to do. So they found a way to advance mods that doesn't involve doing that, and that is pretty much you are going to be taking a stat from one mod into your better mod, and this is on a limited basis, and you do have some control over it, to the fact where you're not, you know, you have a plus 23 mod and you want to make it better, you don't have to worry about burning that extra speed that comes with it. I'm skeptical on it. At the end of the day, it was probably necessary to advance mods. The game that we were in doesn't really die, so we're going to want to take, or we're going to want to have advancements at some point. And there's also a ton of quality of life things to do with mods that are really overdue, and I think are going to really benefit the newer players coming up, because we talked about this before. As far as monetization goes, it's almost easy, or it's a lot easier to essentially monetize or buy your way into a new roster by constantly advancing characters with gear, with relic levels, etc. But it is really, really hard to build a base with mods. You can do that with money. It is something that is possible, but it's much less tangible. It's much less visible, because you're essentially just paying for higher refreshes to be able to do them more. And it really kind of sucks when you shell out a bunch of money or something of the sort, and you get 100 mods and only one of them goes your way. So putting in mechanics that take away all that entirely and make it a lot less RNG based is really nice. Two of those changes are the fact that we're no longer getting 3 or 4 dot mods. That's really big. But the other thing that's also really big, that is honestly kind of not ruined, but has shaped a lot of people's mod inventories right now, is the mod shapes were weighted differently before. Now they're going to be weighted equally. For anyone who's been doing mods for any number amount of time, you know that you have way more circles than you do triangles. In fact, I sometimes get plus 15 circles that I'm like, I don't really know what to do with this. Whereas a triangle, if I get a plus 15 speed on a triangle, I am always, without a doubt, gonna have a home for that, just because they are so much more rare. We even had charts showing the distribution between the two, and you know, the rest of the mods was way off. So this is very, very good, and this is especially good for newer players. Other thing that's really good also for newer players, and really just players in general, is the 6E to 6A mod upgrades will be now within nodes as well. You don't have to wait specifically for a conquest or galactic challenge to come around for you to be able to get those pieces. You are going to be able to get them and knock those out. So as soon as you get, you know, your 4 slices on a 20 speed mod in your account, all you have to do is, you know, pay for your crystal refreshes and go right in. You don't have to wait the 3 days or whatever it is for the event to be over. And finally, my hot take on this one is a little bit sadder than the others. They're finally, like an entire year later, going to be finishing the phase 1 of the gear changes. The reason why my hot take on this isn't that great is because they don't address phase 2, which means I kind of think they're not even going to talk about it. And we might not even get it, because the issue with phase 1 and the position that CG put themselves in is they promise these things, like these 2 things they're talking about here, of adding core gear to shipments for shard shop currency and adding gear to hard nodes, or, you know, I think they talked about doubling the amount of gear that you get from hard nodes last time. These are things that were already promised. They're not promising anything new. They don't even actually, I'm kind of surprised they even mentioned the word phase 1, because they don't mention phase 2. I don't think we're getting anything beyond this. I'm not too upset about that. I am just more relieved that this is finally gonna get addressed. I really hope this is soon, because this feels like the 4th or 5th time they've addressed it, and we still haven't actually seen results. So those are my hot takes for the road ahead. There was a lot to unpack here. Overall, I think this is going to be very, very good. It is going to take some time to adjust to some things. Like I said, I'm very skeptical about the mod advancements, but overall, the TB is a huge step in the right direction, and I'm also very, very excited for what Jabba is going to do. Even if he's not a PvP star, he's still going to be very good in other areas of the game. So until the next time, stay awesome.